Good night, good night. So we have 1 minute again before we start. Just updating you all that we do have a YouTube link. So if you have friends and family members that for some strange reason unable to jump into the Zoom, I would have also sent out a YouTube link. All right. I know there's a couple of persons who have mentioned that they wasn't able to jump into the Zoom. So because of that, we would normally extend as well a YouTube link, so that, those family and friends could also jump onto the YouTube. So we are streaming live on YouTube as of right now as well. We're going to start in 1 minute, just allowing some other persons the courtesy to jump into the call before we start. All right. Good night, everyone. Hope all is well. Thanks a lot for taking the time to tune in to our Tuesday night overview call. And this call, friends, is nothing more than an overview, a synopsis of what myself and our community, the Billionaire Club, does on a day-to-day basis. Most persons that jump into the call would be persons who would have tuned in to some of our short messages via Instagram, our short messages via TikTok and Facebook, and some of you all would be here as a result of some of our community members extending the courtesy to you, so that you could drop in and appreciate and understand what we do on a day-to-day basis to assist average people to start earning income from wherever they are. And I normally tell people you could start from something called absolutely nothing. So let me just start by telling you a bit about myself. I'm Keeshon Vane, for those of you all who isn't aware. And my story is one of which whereby I started from absolutely nothing. So if you thought anyone would have handed me anything, I am here to tell you that you have a preconceived notion that is inconsistent with my reality. So my journey started, over 10 years ago, where I had no one to disseminate information to me. I had no one to disseminate an inheritance to me as well, right? Grew up with my mom, single parent, and I would have experienced life whereby, I would have been in what we call the struggle on a day-to-day basis, trying to make ends meet, and always asking myself, what is the difference between the rich, the middle class, and the poor? And fortunately for me, I was introduced to financial literacy. I was introduced to a guy by the name of Robert Kiyosaki, and his work, my friends, would have literally transformed the way I think and the way I see things. Now, most of you would hear me say, if you can't make money without money, you would never be able to make money with money. Or in other words, you would have heard me say, listen, if you have no product, if you have no car, if you have no land, no real estate, no problem. It's the exact same message. The message is, friends, anyone, anywhere could start with absolutely nothing if you have a burning desire to succeed, and you align yourself with the right community, you align yourself with the right opportunity, you align yourself with the right people, then you shall have success. I myself am here to speak what I have done. I am a humble believer, and I learned this, growing up, that we all should be preaching a gospel, and if necessary, we should use words. Let me say it in our next way. Preach the gospel, and if necessary, use words. This is one of the principles that I've utilized to guide myself. And I'm saying that so that you could appreciate and understand that anything that comes out of my mouth, I would have done that already. I speak after acting. So as I've spoken, I started from the bottom of the barrel. I started from absolutely nothing. I remember there was days when I didn't even have money to buy lunch. I remember days when I didn't even have money to travel from Diego Martin to Port of Spain and back. But I was introduced to inform action, information. And this is why I tell people, my friends, that no man or woman would ever possess the capability of creating more revenue than their mentality, right? No man or woman would ever be able to create more revenue than their mentality. It's all about your informed actions. It's all about your information. So take a look at the right of me here. You're seeing the Billionaire Club. The Billionaire Club, my friends, is a local NGO registered to assist people. And we assist people by extending what? Inform action. We assist people by giving them the correct information, the correct informed actions, so that we could foster and facilitate financial freedom to the average man in Trinidad and Tobago, by extension, the Caribbean world. And we invite you to start with what? Absolutely nothing. Because the only thing that you need to have any form of success is yourself. It's yourself and a burning desire to do what? To be informed so that your actions could create the results that you desire. So at the very basis of our movement, my friends, at the very basis of what we do, we share informed actions to average people to foster and to facilitate financial literacy. You can never have financial freedom without being financially literate. You can't have financial freedom without financial literacy. So at the very cornerstone of our movement, it's about bringing informed actions to you. Now, the way we disseminate this informed action is by extending products and opportunities. Firstly, my friends, let me tell you why the average man right now needs to be correctly informed. We all live in the 21st century. That's a matter of fact. But most of us have been trying to earn money with a 20th century mindset. Most of us have been trying to make ends meet. Most of us have been trying to access financial freedom in a 21st century world with an outdated blueprint, with an outdated mindset. Let me share what I'm saying, because more than likely, like me, you would have been taught the exact same thing that I was taught, because I went to the exact same schools that most of us went to. And what we learned is one way we should make money. The way I was taught to make money, the way we was taught to make money is go to school, get good grades, attain a job, exchange time, energy, and intellectual property to make our honest dollar. And I always tell people, nothing is wrong with starting with a job. Absolutely nothing, because you have to do something to earn something. But may I tell you, a job, exchanging time, energy, and intellectual property, my friends, in my opinion, is the worst way to earn money. And I tell people, I understand you have to start there, but never intend to stay there. Let me give you a principle or a philosophy that I abide by, that I share with my entire network. A job is a starting place. Don't make it your resting space. Write that down if you never heard that before. Your job is a starting place. Don't make it your resting space. Yes, you need to start there because you may be starting from the bottom like me. But ensure your mindset is tuned to working your way out of that ladder. And how do you do that? You do that by becoming financially literate. There's a book I recommend to every single person on this call, and we're going to give you that book for absolutely free. That book, my friends, is called Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. Now, all you need to do to access that book is to go on my YouTube, which is Keeshon Vane, right? and you just comment under this live, your email, and we're going to send you that book absolutely free. Let me tell you why you need to read that book. We live in a 21st century world, and the only way you could capitalize in the 21st century world is by possessing an understanding of how things work in this new world, my friends. So I'm going to be giving that book to you. That's my gift to you, my friends. That is the Billionaires Club gift to every single person on this call. All you need to do to access that book for free is you need to go to my YouTube link. You need to go to this live session and just comment your email address, and we are going to correspond with you by sending you that book for free. I'm seeing somebody commenting in the Zoom session. Friend, please go to the YouTube link. Let me see if I could pull the YouTube link here up and just drop it inside. Or Ansel, can you just drop the YouTube link in for us? If you could be so kind, so that, persons could just click that link from inside the messenger here, and we're going to be sending you that book. But above all things, my friends, we recommend possessing an understanding of how things work. Now, separate and apart from reading that book, after you read that book, please set up a sit-down session with the person that brought you into the school. Take some copious notes and discuss with the person in a one-on-one session the nuggets, the golden nuggets that stands out to you, and have a 15-minute conversation, a half-an-hour conversation with the person that brought you onto this call. Is going to open up a can of worms that's ultimately going to govern and guide you to accessing a different level of yourself, especially if you plan to access financial freedom. Now, how do we foster and facilitate extended informed action? So separate and apart from the book, let me tell you this, friends, we have an academy, an online academy whereby average people like you could start accessing some of the mentors that would have been very responsible or influential in assisting us along the way. So a lot of people look at the success our community have been able to have, and they ask, what's the difference with these guys compared to the other guys? May I tell you the difference is personal growth and development? May I tell you the difference is financial literacy? May I tell you the difference is studying success principles? The truth is, friends, anyone anywhere could make money without money at any time they learn the principles that govern money. I'll give you a real story, right? So I always tell people this story because it's one of my most powerful experiences ever. One of my good friends and business partners, about 3 years ago, she saw me on a trip in Panama. And she said, Keeshon, I want to get involved in the venture you're involved in. She said, but one problem, I don't have any money. And I responded, awesome. And she was taken aback. She was like, awesome? I just told you I don't have any money to start with you. And I told her, awesome. The reason I told her awesome is because I subscribe to the philosophy that states if you can't make money without money, you would never be able to make money with money. She came and she had a session, a one-on-one session with me. She said, I'm going to follow what you're saying. And I said, okay, do just that. Friends, may I tell you, in 30 days after having a sit-down session with me, she built an organization that was doing over $50,000 in revenue every 30 days. And she would have done that consistently, my friends, on a month-to-month basis after that meeting. What did she start with? Absolutely nothing. She met with me. You could go right ahead and meet with the person that brought you onto the call, because we all share the same philosophy. We all share the same ideology. We all share a system of informed action whereby the average man can come and sit with us in our office in Woodbrook, and we're going to guide you forward. So the first offer that we have / opportunity is our online academy. Our online academy, friends, is to assist turning employees to entrepreneurs. And the only way you could turn an employee to an entrepreneur is by the regeneration of the mind. It's by studying a new curriculum. It's by having access to new information. And talking about new information, you should very well be aware that there's a lot of new money. More than likely, if you're here and you saw a couple of my videos, you know I'm a Bitcoin advocate. I speak about Bitcoin almost one in every 1.5 videos. And you know, today, Bitcoin is called new money. But let me ask you something. Conceptualize asking yourself this question. Could you imagine speaking to your great-great-great-great-grandfather, let's say 3 great-grandparents or 4 great-grandparents before you, and saying, Mom or Dad or great-great-great-granny, I am earning Bitcoin. I am being paid in Bitcoin. Do you think your great-great-great-great-grandparents would be able to appreciate, understand what is Bitcoin? More than likely, they would have no idea as to what you're speaking about. The only reason I'm saying that is to highlight to you that Bitcoin is new money. Bitcoin is a new concept. And if you approach Bitcoin, which is a 21st century method of money with a 20th century mindset, with a 20th century system of information, there's absolutely no way Bitcoin can make sense to you. And the problem for most people is they approach 21st century money, 21st century opportunity, 21st century world with ancient thinking, with ancient mindsets, so it doesn't make sense. How about electricity, right? Think about convincing your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents about electricity, whereby the concept of electricity, formulated by Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla, was being able to harness the power of the sun and place it in a glass bottle. Insane to conceptualize, right? The reason I'm highlighting that is because it highlights the significance of the curriculum that you study. No man or woman can act beyond their thoughts. And no man or woman thoughts is beyond the curriculum that they study. And information foster thoughts, thoughts foster actions, and actions foster results. If you want to have results in the 21st century, friends, you need to act in accordance to the principles and the protocols of the 21st century. And in order to do that correctly, you need to read the syllabus, or you need to suck up the information or the system of information that is going to allow you to operate to profit. So it doesn't matter how much you hear about BTC, unless you possess an understanding of what it is, you would not be able to capitalize on it. So that brings me to the next point. Sunday, this Sunday, we have something called Bitcoin for Beginners. It's an introduction course where the average man could really sit and wrap his mind around what is Bitcoin, how it works, and most importantly, how Bitcoin could work for you. And remember, friends, remember, you would not be able to appreciate 21st century money without first studying a 21st century curriculum. I want you to get that. I'm also a man that would have grown up in church, so I am very well aware of certain principles. Let me give you a principle. It's better to give a man a fish or teach a man how to fish. You tell me. Based on the good word. It's much better, my friends, to teach a man how to fish than to give him a fish. There are many persons that jump onto our calls, and the truth is they came just to receive a fish. We're not here to extend a fish to you, friends. And the reason it's better to give, it's not better to give a man a fish, is because here's what the word says. He eats for a day. We're not here to assist you for eating, consuming for a day. This is why the backbone, the foundation of our movement is informed action. What does the word say? Teach. What does teaching entail, my friends? Teaching entails transferring information. It's better to teach a man to fish so that he could live or eat for a lifetime. It's the big difference between consuming and producing. If you want to produce income, not for today, not for tomorrow, you want to produce income for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years, for the next 15, 20, and 30 years, please don't sign up in the Billionaire Club to access money today. Sign up in the Billionaire Club so that we could teach you what we would have learned. And that brings me to the next point. Let's turn your learning into your earning. This is why we stress so much on courses. This is why we stress so much on online academies, because it's about teaching you how to fish rather than giving you a fish. So Bitcoin for beginners. The cost of Bitcoin for beginners, friends, was literally created so that the average man would have full access to it. It's only 350 TT dollars. Only 350 TT dollars. And here's the thing, because we understand that persons may be in a position where they may not even be able to do that, we are willing to work with you. Reach out to the person that brought you on to this call. Sign up for Bitcoin for beginners. We all live in the 21st century. You need to possess an understanding of new money. You need to possess information to allow you to capitalize in this new era, in this new world. So sign up for that course. It's only 350 TT dollars. And if you can't make it, hey, they're going to extend something nice like a pie to you, as we see in Trinidad, which brings me to the next point, right? So other than introducing the academy, other than introducing you to information about Bitcoin, which is heavy on our agenda, we also show you how to earn passive income. Now, this is big. Let me tell you why this is big. When you start studying financial literacy suggests unless you possess passive income, you will work for the rest of your life. So we said your job is a starting place, it's not a resting space. Are you aware that there are many people who actually plan to leave their jobs, but they can't? I'll say it again. And probably you could be one of those persons on the call. You probably started with the intention of getting into a job just to, put food on the table, just to pay bills. But for some strange reason, you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You see, the reason most people can't see the light at the end of the tunnel is because they would have placed themselves in what we call the rat race. Many persons have been sold on the philosophy of living in the rat race and they're not aware. Many of us, including myself. So let me tell you what I was told. Let me share with you the information that boxed me in at a point in time into the rat race. And I'm going to start by telling you what is the rat race. The rat race, from a financial literacy standpoint, is actually generating active dollars and paying residual bills. Let me explain what that means. In the financial world, active dollars is dollars that is tied to action. It's dollars tied to activity. And it does not matter the status you hold. You could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be an engineer, you could even be a prime minister and generate activity dollars. What is activity dollars? Well, let me explain what is activity dollars. Activity dollars is dollars that's generated with a form of action. And when there's no action taking place, no income is generated. So here's the question to prove that to you. If a doctor does not tend to patients, will the doctor make money? We know the answer to that. Absolutely not. If a lawyer doesn't represent someone in the court, would they make money? You know the answer to that. Absolutely not. If a judge does not adjudicate on matters, would they be paid? The answer is absolutely not. Most of us were sold on the philosophy of generating active money. So when we stop working, money stops alongside with us. But let's not forget the reason why we are working. The reason we are working is to pay bills. Bills is considered residual bills. Residual is just a word for consistent or constant, because our bills are consistent bills. Our bills knock our bank accounts every week, every fortnight, and every month, whether we have money or not. Your bills are residual. What is the rat race? Let me help you out. The rat race, as we know it, is actually trying to pay consistent bills with money that stops when you stop. So when you stop working, your money stops flowing, but your bills continue. It's the rat race. It's the cycle that 97% of the world find themselves in. But let's not forget the reason they found themselves in that. They found themselves in that rat race because of the school curriculum. Remember, the system of information that was shared with us determines the actions that we take. And the actions that we take determines the results that we produce. This is why at the corner of poverty is actually lack of information. This is why at the corner of wealth and riches is a specific amount of information. This is why we stress on teaching people to fish rather than giving them a fish, my friends. So if you want to come out of the traditional rat race, rather than trying to pay residual bills with active income, let me tell you what you actually need. You need a form of residual passive income. Residual income is income that consistently flows to your bank account, to your blockchain, every day, every week, every fortnight, every month, with you out of the picture. I'll say it again. Residual income is income that flows to your bank account, that flows to your blockchain every day, every fortnight, every month, without you in the picture. In other words, there are two ways you can make money. You can go to work for money, or you could put money to work for you. You can go to work for money, or you could put money to work for you. Let me just top it off by sharing this, right, friends? And I want you to catch this. We also have an option whereby we show people how to turn their smartphones into a cash machine, whereby we have a device that's, let's use an analogy. We have a device, my friends, that is connected to the Forex market with a straw. And Monday to Friday, this straw, with or without us, sucks value out of that market every single weekday. And it's passive because it's generating income without us. So these are the four pillars that we try to share with persons at the basis of the Billionaire Club. Remember, it's informed actions. So as a result of that, we have our academy program, our online academy program. We also have live sessions. And by the way, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 a.m., myself and Dr. Ian Cummins, we actually have live sessions, personal development sessions for our community. Write that down. If you're normally up that time and you're going to work, just tune into these sessions, because we share so much transformational information there. Like literally information being disseminated on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 a.m. will change your life. And the key word is will. It will change your life. And of course, Bitcoin for beginners. I have a course every single month explaining to average people this new money called Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? How it works and how it can work for you. Remember, to capitalize on 21st century opportunities, you need 21st century information. You need a 21st century syllabus. And a lot of persons are making a lot of dough from Bitcoin. And of course, last but not least, the passive stream of income, where we show persons how to turn their phone into a straw. And that's my analogy, because my phone is my straw. My phone siphons capital off of the Forex market Monday to Friday. With or without me in the picture, my phone is being utilized every weekday as a straw. And this is what we are about. So when you touch base with the person that brought you onto this call, have that sit down session with them. Go to the YouTube page and comment under the live. Drop your email in there. We're going to send you Business of the 21st Century. I need you to read that book. Business of the 21st Century and Rich Dad Poor Dad was the first two books that I read that transformed my life. Here's the question. Can a book transform your entire financial future? Let me give you my realistic experience. The answer is yes. Can a book change your financial future? The answer is absolutely. One book, my friends, to the one right person will turn you into becoming the person that you need to become to generate as much income as possible. I remember doing a podcast and somebody told me, they said, Keeshon, if you had to give advice to someone out there who has only $100 TT, what would you advise that person to invest in? And I told them, I would advise that they invest into purchasing a book. I would advise that they invest into purchasing a seminar. Because yes, you could take that $100 and invest it into something that may give you money. But may I tell you, the greatest investment is self-development. The greatest investment is self-development. Just today, I had a conversation with a good business partner of mine. And he said, Keeshon, from the trips you went on, what is the most significant things that you learned? And I'll tell you the most significant thing that I learned in my trips. And Apostle Cummins says it the best. He says, more is caught than taught. More is caught than taught. You should appreciate and understand. Let's say, for example, you have $100,000 under investment. You should have invested $200,000 in your mind. If you have $200,000 under investment, whether it be Bitcoin or Forex or stocks or bonds, wherever you have an investment, friends, you should have already paid a down payment in your mind. The average man spends more money on making the outside of his head look presentable than paying for information for inside of his head that could make him a fortune. The greatest investment is self-development. If you have $100,000 under investment, you should have $200,000 invested in your mind. That's why we recommend the academy. That's why we recommend the course. Because here at the Billionaire Club, it's about teaching a man how to fish rather than giving him a fish. So friends, I hope the overview tonight was helpful. I hope I was instrumental in helping you understand what we stand for, what we are about. And I personally look forward to connecting with every single person one-on-one when we get some time. I hope the persons that you sit with should make you aware that I have quite a number of persons that, I try to have one-on-ones with, but it's thousands of persons that try to have sessions with me. So I'm open, but I'm booked. I'm open, but I'm packed, right? So ensure you sit with the agent that brought you onto the call, and somewhere along the line, I will make time to sit with you and assist you to move forward. So thanks for your time. Get back to the person that brought you onto the call and sign up into any one of those programs as soon as last night, as soon as yesterday. And never forget, if you have no money, you will never be able to make money without money until you convert the system of information in your mind. The agent that brought you into the call, they're going to sit and show you, if you have nothing, how to turn nothing into something, because that is what we do. See at the top, comment in the live on the YouTube. I'm going to send you the book. We're going to be here next week, Tuesday. Again, bring your friend, bring your family member, bring your cousin, bring your auntie, bring your father, bring your mother. Because the information here, my friends, needs to get into every single home, every single corner, every single crevice. Share with a friend. Have a good one. Bye.